This video is made under fair use and is for educational purposes. This is Kim Paddock. I'd like to follow up on previous videos I did about parasites, and in the last video I touched on the Chinese believing that parasites were demons. So I'll play this video and then we'll discuss it some more.
The demonic parasites. Are parasites actually demons in biological form? The existence of parasites that have the ability to hijack a person's mind
They show us in movies
out of a science fiction movie, such as the movie The Faculty. The Faculty is a science fiction movie about high school teachers being controlled and taken over by otherworldly parasites. As the old saying goes, art imitates life, and truth is far stranger than fiction. In ancient China, the Taoists had a very interesting belief concerning parasites. The Taoists believe in a concept known as the three worms. The Sanqi, three corpses, or Sangchong, three worms, are a Taoist physiological belief that demonic creatures live inside the human body and they seek to hasten the death of their host. These three supernatural parasites allegedly enter the person at birth and reside in the three dantian, energy centers, respectively located within the head, chest, and abdomen. After their human host dies, they are freed from the body and become malevolent spirits. The three corpses work to harm their host's health and fate by initiating sickness, inviting other disease-causing agents into the body, and reporting their host's transgressions to the gods. The usual English translation of Sanqi is three corpses. However, this Taoist term does not literally refer to corpses, as in dead bodies, within the human body, but is linguistically causative, meaning the eventual death, mortality, produced by these demonic agents. Now, I myself am not a Taoist, nor do I believe in Taoism. However, I believe they have a very good point about parasites being demons in biological form. Parasites and demons are incredibly similar, if not the exact same. They are two sides to the same coin. In fact, demons are often called spiritual parasites. A parasite is a biological organism that lives and feeds off of its hosts and causes mental and physical illness. They are known to feed off of their host's negative emotional energy and are known to bring the host physical and mental illness. Studies have shown that parasites are able to cause severe mental illnesses, such as schizophrenia. Scientists have discovered how the toxoplasmosis parasite may trigger the development of schizophrenia and other bipolar disorders. They have shown that the parasite may play a role in the development of these disorders. Clinical studies frequently report that patients with major mental illness, such as schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, have comorbid physical conditions, suggesting that systematic alterations affecting both brain and peripheral tissue might underlie the disorders. Numerous studies have reported elevated levels of anti-T Gandhi antibodies in patients with major mental illnesses. The T Gandhi parasites are so powerful that they can hijack a person's mind and alter humans' sexual desires and influence humans to engage in abnormal sexual practices such as BDSM and have an attraction to sexual violence. So what is the T Gandhi parasite? Toxoplasmosis is an infection caused by a single-celled parasite called Toxoplasma
It glows in the
gondii.
dark.
While
Where
the
have we
parasite
seen
is
that
found
before?
throughout the world, more than 40 million people in the United States may be infected with the Toxoplasma parasite. The Toxoplasma parasite can persist for long periods of time in the bodies of humans and other animals, possibly even for a lifetime. Of those who are infected, however, very few have symptoms because a healthy person's immune system usually keeps the parasites from causing illnesses. However, pregnant women and individuals who have compromised immune systems should be cautious. For them, a toxoplasma infection could cause serious health problems. I recently found an interesting case study concerning this very powerful and influential parasite titled "The Case for Toxoplasma gondii in Psychosis and Other Human Diseases." This chapter introduces Toxoplasma gondii, the cause of toxoplasmosis. It discusses the many ways it can be transmitted and what is known about human infections, especially those affecting the brain, the pregnant uterus, and the eyes. It details the evidence linking this parasite to psychosis and estimates the percentage of psychosis cases that may be caused by it. It also briefly discusses the evidence linking toxoplasmosis to other conditions, epilepsy, brain cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, and motor vehicle accidents. The T. gondii parasite has been called one of the most successful parasites on Earth, and yet is one of medicine's best-kept secrets. It is remarkable in its ability to infect nearly any nucleotide cell in any warm-blooded animal, and infects most species of mammals and birds. An estimated 1/3 of the world's humans are infected, although this varies widely by country, depending on dietary habits and exposure to cats. A 2014 survey in the United States reported that 11% of the population, or approximately 40 million Americans, have antibodies to this parasite, indicating past infection. For almost a century after its discovery, it remained largely unknown. It was given a tongue-twisting name, Toxoplasma gondii, which was in fact inadvertently misspelled. The North African rodent in which it was discovered in 1908 was a gundii, not a gondii. It is a protozoan parasite, not bacteria or viruses, which were the infectious agents of the greatest interest in the 20th century. The most noteworthy protozoan is the malaria parasite. T. gondii, as it is commonly abbreviated, is a second cousin to the malaria parasite. But like famous humans, second cousins don't get much press. It wasn't until 1938 that T. gondii was known to be transmitted from a pregnant woman to her fetus and to cause severe problems with brain development. And it was not until the late 1960s that cats were identified as the specific host for this parasite. T. gondii has to be eaten by a cat to complete its life cycle in the cat's intestine. It begins its life cycle when a cat, usually as a kitten, becomes infected. Although the cat usually has no symptoms, it excretes in its feces up to 50 million infective T. gondii oocytes per day for an average of 8 days. At any given time, approximately 1% of cats are infective and are excreting oocytes. The oocytes are remarkably hardy and can survive for long periods in soil or water. Wherever the cat defecates may become contaminated with infectious oocytes. Since cats prefer loose soil for defecation, this often includes gardens, children's sandboxes, and animal feed piles in barns. After 24 hours, the oocytes dry out and are thought by some researchers to become aerosolized, thus floating in the air and capable of being inhaled. Water becomes contaminated when cat feces deposited on the ground is carried into streams by rainwater, or when cat litter is flushed down the toilet. Not all cats are carriers of this parasite, but they can be. It's incredibly interesting finding out that cats are the specific host for this very powerful parasite that can hijack the mind and cause very serious physical and mental issues. Now, I myself used to own a cat that I loved very much that passed away from liver complications back in February. And I do not believe that cats are intrinsically evil. However, the topic of cats being hosts for parasites that can alter the mind and body in negative ways reminds me of a question I used to have. Why were cats worshipped by the ancient Egyptians, and why do witches love cats as well? Apparently, in ancient Egypt, cats were not worshipped as gods per se, but as vessels for them. The ancient Egyptians believed that cats were chosen to be inhabited by the gods, and that some of the divinities even adopted their likeness. For example, Bastet, also called Bast, was the daughter of Ra, the sun god. And when it comes to the occult, cats, specifically black cats, have played a huge role in mythology for centuries. In the Middle Ages, they were believed to be a spirit or demon to serve a witch as a companion. I find it incredibly fascinating that the ancient Egyptians and ancient witches believed that cats can be vessels for spirits. And as it turns out, cats can be vessels for very powerful parasites that does to the body what demons have been known to do to the body in the scriptures, such as cause you to hear voices, experience negative emotions such as anxiety, depression, OCD, bipolar disorder, and many other mental illnesses. Demons can hijack your mind and influence you to do destructive things, such as engaging in abnormal sexual practices like promiscuity and BDSM. Aside from cats being specific vessels for these very powerful parasites, other carriers can include all the unclean animals that were spoken of in the scriptures: pigs, rats, shellfish, fish without scales, and many other animals listed in scripture as unclean to consume. Maybe there is both a spiritual and physical reason as to why God said not to consume these animals. In fact, the Most High calls these animals an abomination, and that we shall not eat their flesh. In biblical usage, the word abomination means something that God loathes or hates because it is offensive to him and his character. After all, an unclean animal was a chosen host by the unclean spirits known as Legion. So is it possible parasites are actually demons in biological form? A biological antenna for the spiritual wickedness in high places. Is this how they are able to cause so much pain, sicknesses, diseases, and other physical and mental torments? If you believe you have been affected by these demonic parasites, Jesus actually gives us the solution in the book of Matthew. In the book of Matthew, Jesus told the disciples that some demons are incredibly powerful and can only be cast out through prayer and fasting. Fasting just so happens to be one of the best parasite cleanses out there. Now combine fasting with genuine prayer and a healthy lifestyle, you have a spiritually and physically effective weapon against these serpents, these demonic parasites, who wish to bring forth your physical, mental, and spiritual demise. I hope you guys have found this topic to be very fruitful. If you would like to support this channel, I recently wrote a book titled The Caffeine Epidemic, about the effects of caffeine on physical and mental health. The link for that will be in the bio below. Again, thank you so much. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we are out. Till next time.
And as I said in one of my videos about gay men having these parasites specifically, this backs that up too. Now we'll get to scripture and what it says about these abominations. Matthew 24:15. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, which is your body, whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee to the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. Because the abomination of desolation started March 11th, 2020. It was the shot heard round the world. Leviticus 11:11. They shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. And these that are they which ye have had an abomination among the fowls, they shall not be eaten, they are an abomination. The eagle, the ostrich, the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite, after his kind. Leviticus 18:22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind, as with womankind. It is an abomination. And they're probably saying that in the Bible due to the fact that parasites cause this behavior. Nobody's ever linked it up to parasites before, I don't think. Leviticus 11:42. Whatsoever goeth upon the belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all four, and whatsoever hath more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them ye shall not eat, for they are an abomination. And what are they trying to feed us now? Insects, bugs, these things that crawl upon the ground. Then I looked up myrrh, because myrrh is mentioned many times in the Bible and is a very powerful antiseptic and antiparasitic. Proverbs 7:17, I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Cinnamon is also an antiparasitic, a very strong one. So this is what they did to keep themselves healthy and parasite-free. Song of Solomon 1:13, a bundle of myrrh is my well-beloved unto me. He shall lie all night betwixt my breasts. All my garments smell of myrrh, and of aloes and cassia, out of the ivory palaces, whereby they have been made thee glad. His cheeks are as a bed of spices, as sweet flowers, his lips like lilies, dropping sweet-smelling myrrh. So there's a lot of scripture here about myrrh. We'll look at some more. And they talk about, in the top one here, saffron, calamus, and cinnamon, but it is not calamus. It is cannabis. They have changed this on purpose. Calamus is a reed that grows by the river that is so poisonous it's banned in the United States. So God would not say for you to use calamus. He wants you to use cannabis. Cannabis and cinnamon, and all trees of frankincense, myrrh, and aloes, with all the chief spices. Song of Solomon 5:1, and I come into my garden, my sister, my spouse. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice. I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. And by the way, you can eat honey, but not other sugars that feed these parasites. I have drunk my wine with my milk. Eat, O friends, drink, yea, drink abundantly, O beloved. And then it talks a lot more about myrrh in here. And in Esther 2:12 below here, it talks about it was when every maid's turn was come to go into King Ahasuerus after she had been 12 months according to the manner of the women. And these women were purified with myrrh and 12 months of cleansing. It's cleansing for parasites. These men would not have anything to do with these women unless they were clean, because these parasites are deadly. So the Bible is true, obviously. Here we go again. Spikenard and saffron. Calamus not. It's cannabis. Cannabis and cinnamon, with all trees of frankincense, myrrh, and aloes, with all the chief spices. And frankincense is another antiparasitic, by the way. These things are spoken of in the Bible for good reason, because these parasites are demons, in my opinion. And there's the Song of Solomon again, talking about saffron, cannabis, and cinnamon. If all you have is a heart faithful to God, and yet do nothing for your own benefit, your predestined lifespan being defective and your body threatened with harm. The three corpses shall take advantage of your weak months and perilous days, the hours when your longevity could be interrupted or sickness incurred, to summon vicious breaths and bring in any demons that might be able to find due to you injury. And that is what the Chinese said about these things. And that agrees with the Bible. If you have a heart faithful to God and yet do nothing for your own benefit. So tell me, have you taken your myrrh, your holy oil that has myrrh and cinnamon in it? Have you been taking care of that, or are you just praying to God to fix it all? And here's also what the Chinese say, which is very interesting here. Cinnabar, the reddish ore of mercury, and by the way, mercury is not a toxic metal. We will get into that later. Is the essential ingredient in many Taoist magical elixirs that expel corpse worms, most of which are said to cure 100 sicknesses, all kinds of diseases and ailments. Gi Hong gives the recipe for nibbling melted gold attributed to Longzi, which involves alternately dipping gold 100 times into boiling hog fat and vinegar. If you wish to make medicine that will banish the three corpses from your body, you must take cinnabar. And then it tells you the recipe for that. I recommend that you don't make it unless you absolutely know what you're doing. And then in the bottom one, the minor elixirs for recalling a man's ethereal breaths, the pills countering the three messenger corpses, and lesser medicines made from the 5 brilliances and the 8 minerals will sometimes melt hard ice instantly or keep one afloat in water. They can intercept ghosts and gods, lay tigers and leopards, and disperse accumulations in the digestive system and our organs. They dislodge the 2 lackeys of illness from the heart region and the diaphragm. They raise those who have just died. Wow, that's interesting. Raising the dead? Where have we heard that before? Oh yeah, that's the Holy Bible. Return frightened ethereal breaths to the body they had quit. All these are common everyday medicines, and if they can still restore the dead to life, why should the superior medicines not be able to make the living immortal? The Shanging texts record a widely quoted recipe attributed to Zhao Yishan for killing the 3 worms' corpses. It combines 7 drugs, 7/10 of a bushel of hemp seeds. Oh, hemp seeds are so nutritious. This is amazing. 7 ounces of smilax, 6 ounces of whatever that is, 5 ounces of condite, 5 ounces of cloud-shaped agaric mushrooms, 4 ounces of cinnamon, and 7-inch-long xantholixum root. Then one boils the root of Acorus calamus, no, it's not calamus, Acorus cannabis, in 1.5 bushels of wine to produce pure essential liquor. And then they tell you how to make it. I'd like to translate that into a recipe to try. And then here's the proof that what they're talking about, Acorus calamus, is poisonous. Acorus calamus is a species of flowering plant with psychoactive chemicals. It's tall, wetland monocot of the family Acarandae in the genus Acorus. Although used in traditional medicine over centuries to treat digestive disorders and pain, there is no clinical evidence for its safety or efficacy. An ingested calamus may be toxic, leading to its commercial ban in the United States. It's cannabis, not calamus. And then they also talk about cannabis roots. Cannabis roots have been used in folk medicine for centuries and contain several compounds that may be of medicinal value. However, it is important to note that the roots are often discarded by growers at harvest time. They have been used in the past to reduce pain caused by broken bones or surgery. The roots were dried and ground to form the basis of a paste. They were also crushed to extract fresh juice or boiled to make a decoction. Cannabis roots have been used to treat various conditions such as joint cramps, gout, acute pain, burns, inflammation, and twisted sinews. So that's interesting too. I'll have to experiment with that. And then it's also in the holy anointing oil of Christ. And I found this recipe and I made it in 2016. And it comes down from the ancient Hebrew and Judaic texts as the same recipe. And it's amazing. This is how to make it. So if you wish to screenshot this and copy it, make it, take it, share it with your friends and family, because it is a wonderful anti-parasitic. If you take it before bedtime like I do, it helps you sleep like a baby. You'll just feel so much better. The only thing that whatever I have made seems to not work on is this whipworm. Whipworms that cause severe diarrhea, anemia, and weight loss, and in some cases rectal prolapse. These whipworms also use heavy metals and molds to cover their bodies in and protect them from your body expelling them or attacking them. So they're covered in heavy metals, they're covered in toxic molds, and getting rid of them is a nightmare. And I'm working on it because I believe these worms are what is causing Lyme disease, for one, and possibly several others. But I'm working on a protocol for Lyme disease, and I believe also Crohn's. I think it's caused by this same worm. These people are in terrible pain and they need some help. So I'm working on protocols for this specific worm. The other product that I make is called Victory Oil, and it's a good all-around anti-parasitic. It's loaded with natural vitamins and nutrients, and you'll have to check that out on my website. I've given it to people that have taken the shot, heard round the world, and were weak and falling down and just not doing well. And even after the first dose, they said they started feeling better. And after a short time, they were feeling much better, they said, and they're still taking it. You might want to look at this video that I made, Lyme disease, heavy metal parasites, and copper protects us from EMFs. I will leave a link below. And this other video I made, all diseases caused by parasites, prions, funguses, and poisons. And molds and funguses are in the same category, by the way. And at that, we'll take a look at my website here. They won't allow me to list any of my products on eBay or Amazon or Etsy or anywhere. So I rely upon the people that watch my videos to try these and get well and get the benefits of them. I don't ask for donations. That is not what I do. So if you wish to support me in any way and make yourself healthy, this is how you do it. And you can scroll down the first page of my website and see all of the information that I have here. And I also found out how to get magnetic nanoparticles out of your body, which is going to be very important because we know how bad those things are, that they react to EMFs and so forth, and they're weaponized. And I used Miracle Bath and Body Oil to get these out of my body. I still have this strand in a jar, but I had to use a black light for it to show up because the ones that came out of me were clear. They weren't carrying any toxic poisons or anything, probably because I used my own products and destroyed all of that. But it's still not a good idea to have these things in your body by any means, of course. So Miracle Bath and Body Oil, the frequency will draw them out. And then there's pictures at the bottom of skin cancers that have been healed. And there's more in the testimony section. And it heals arthritis really fast. Arthritis begins at a frequency of 52 megahertz, and your body should be between 62 and 65 to be healthy. We'll go up now to the products, and I'll show you what I have. It took me 1.5 years to make the Victory Oil, but it was worth it. And I do have the Holy Oil in here. Like I said, I've been making it since 2016. And this 1 ounce bottle should last about 3 months. So that's not too bad. And this is the Victory Oil right here. And you can even just get this sample bottle if you just want to try it and see how you like it. And I say that the 1 ounce Victory Oil has a new, more pleasant flavor and has been double filtered. Helps prevent and heal serious diseases and pain, is an immune system builder, a heavy metal detox agent, prevents radiation poisoning, absorbs radiation, removes toxins, and kills parasites. Victory Oil has the highest frequency of any extract that I've made so far. This high frequency extract can raise your body's physical frequency to a normal range at which parasites and diseases won't be able to survive. This high frequency extract, by the way, is from the hemp plant, and I extracted that in 2016 as well. Start with 1/2 teaspoon a day internally. You can work yourself up to 1 teaspoon after 1 week, 2 teaspoons after 2 weeks, but no more than 1 tablespoon a day is recommended for adults. You can choose which dose is right to you by how you feel. Children and even your pets can take Victory Oil too. Children between 5 and 12 can take 1/2 teaspoon a day. Above that, they can take an adult dose. And your pets, by the way, even cats love this. So if you want to give it to your cat and try to get all those parasites out of your cat, it's a good idea to detox yourself and your pets, dogs, cats, all of them. And your children, of course, because you don't want them being sick with these things. They're very dangerous. The higher your frequency is, the faster Victory Oil can heal and prevent serious diseases such as cancer. Cancer occurs when the body's frequency drops to the lowest level prior to death. It is important to raise your body's frequency as quickly as possible in order to destroy the cancer cells and raise the body's frequency to above that of your disease and pain to destroy and keep it from returning. The high frequency heals and prevents a multitude of diseases such as the ones that are listed in the testimonies section of this website and more. Victory Oil is also for serious pain and diseases that other products may not be strong enough to heal. Victory Oil also contains vital nutrients and is made from a cold-pressed almond oil, a very high-frequency hemp extract, 20% CBD hemp buds, no THC, chaga, kelp, chlorella, zeolite, ginger, glycerol monosterate, and pumpkin seed oil. Almond oil contains vitamins A, B, D, and E, and that's D2, by the way. D3 is actually rat poison, so don't buy D3. Please don't. This comes from D2, which is from the chaga. Magnesium, calcium, potassium, and 3 types of essential fatty acids, which help lower high blood pressure and blood sugar, lowers cholesterol, helps with heart disease, obesity, and prevents free radicals from damaging cells, which prevents cancer. CBD hemp contains CBD, which is another cancer-fighting agent, heals broken bones, and increases bone density, helps with epilepsy, pain, arthritis, anger, anxiety, depression, acne, Parkinson's disease. Kills parasites, and it kills the one that causes myocarditis, by the way. Inflammation and more. Kelp contains monosodium iodide, which protects cells from radiation. CBD cannabidol can also protect the body from the cytokine storm caused by the shot heard round the world that can lead to autoimmune deficiency, AIDS. CBD coats the areas that agents in the shot heard round the world, and primarily the shot heard round the world, target in order to destroy the immune system and protects them from much of the damage caused by certain ingredients in the shot heard around the world. It is important that we all try to stay healthy. Shots or no. Chaga contains about 75% vitamin D2, the sunshine vitamin. We get sick in the fall due to a lack of this vitamin. Vitamin D2 reduces cancer cell growth and inflammation and controls infections as well. Glycerol monostearate is added to thicken the oil and to keep all of the elements in suspension. This ingredient also hydrates your body, lowers the heart rate, increases the amount of red blood cells, and is used by athletes for endurance. Zeolite is used to take poisons from your body caused by dead parasites and possible poisons in the form of the shot heard around the world and from poisons in our food and water. Zeolite also absorbs and protects us from radiation. Pumpkin seed oil kills the most damaging parasites that cause AIDS, which is a whole family of debilitating diseases such as multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, tuberculosis, and wasting syndrome, to name a few. The parasites eat this oil and it is fatal to them. And it also, pumpkin seed oil also contains zinc, so that's good. Victory oil is an overall heavy metal detox when used along with a source of fiber, so please make sure you get some fiber. Fiber is vital in order to remove the heavy metals from your body, so use fiber in your diet. Many illnesses like Parkinson's disease and low-functioning autism in children are caused by the heavy metals in the shots heard around the world. Food, toothpaste, deodorants, and so on. Low-functioning autism has gone up 180% since the year 2000 and continues to rise. Non-shot children have virtually no autism. These shots contain large amounts of mercury and aluminum that cause brain damage and other serious conditions. Heavy metal detox will take some time, so be vigilant. Take 1 to 2 teaspoons a day for adult detox, and no more than half a teaspoon a day for children. And don't forget your pets. Thank you for listening. Hopefully we will make it through Revelation here in one piece. God bless you all.